Russ.
Marianne, you have the look of a woman who's about to ask a question.
How very astute of you, Doctor.
Comes from years and years of experience. What can I do for you?
I was wondering if you'd seen Rick.
No, I haven't, not lately, and I don't want to.
Well, what does that mean?
It means that Rick should be home sleeping.
Should?
Yes, that guy's been pushing himself much too hard, as you know. I practically had to give him a direct order to go home and get some sleep.
Good. Maybe he listened to you.
Well, he'd better. A doctor who's half asleep is only half a doctor. I have no interest in that kind of personnel.
Not to mention it not being very good for him. I mean, the human body can only take so much.
Yeah, well, now all that remains is to convince Rick of that.
Well, I'm sure your talking to him helped, and I'm really glad you did. I've been worried about all those long hours he's been putting in.
You really do care for him a lot, don't you? Did you see that?
Yeah, I know. I know. Anybody home?
Yeah, Mom said she'd meet me back at the house.
How are Mac and Jamie?
They're fine, thank goodness. Oh, Jamie is still in the hospital, for observation.
For what?
Well, Mom didn't say, but she insisted that it wasn't serious.
Right, well, I hope so.
Well, I'll feel better if I see him for myself.
Right, okay. Look, why don't I help you get them home so you can get to the hospital?
Okay, here.
The car's in the lot.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, it's all right, we'll get home. Mitch, listen, thanks an awful lot for everything. Especially for coming all the way down to St. Croix and getting us and telling us what happened. I really appreciate it.
There's something I had to do.
I guess I had to be away and think. True. I have made my decision about who's going to be Matthew's legal father. But in deference to Mac, I think I should wait and discuss it with him, okay?
Oh, Jerry, I think this bed is about the prettiest sight I've seen in a long time.
Tell me about it.
There's only one thing that would make me like it better.
What's that?
Seeing you in it.
Well, you won't have to wait long for that, believe me.
Jerry, how are you feeling?
Driving all night sure took it out of me, but first there's something else I've got to do.
Jerry, enough is enough.
Look, I've got the key, so just make sure that the door is locked when I go out, all right?
Jerry, where are you going?
I want to go move the car. I don't want anybody spotting it from the road.
Jerry, I really don't think that's necessary, okay?
Well, I do. Look, at least I'll sleep better if I know that neither Jordan Scott nor his friends will come bursting in on us.
I guess you're right.
Yeah. Oh, and don't answer the phone while I'm gone.
Okay. Mr. and Mrs. Jerry Grove.
And now, the continuing story of Another World.
Oh, hi.
Hi. Am I glad to see you too?
Home.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hello to Grandma.
That's a girl.
Hello, Mitch.
How you doing, Ada? Look, if you'll excuse me for a moment, I think we'll go out and take a walk. Would you like to come, hon?
Oh, okay, come on, sweetie. You go with Mitch, okay? Thank you. What's Mitch Blake doing here? He brought me home from the airport. That's not what I mean. Mom, he cared enough about me and my family to come all the way down to St. Croix and tell us about what happened at the complex. Now, I think that's the only explanation needed.
I think he went down there just to be alone with you.
That's not the way it was at all. As soon as he got there, we came right home on the plane after he told me.
He got there on Friday night.
Yes, he got there on Friday night. And there were no planes out until Sunday. And we had a layover in Miami, all right?
How do you suppose Mac is going to feel about you spending the weekend with Mitch Blake after everything that's happened?
I just told you, Mitch came down to tell me about Mac and Jamie.
Oh, sure he did.
All right, let's drop it, okay? Since you're determined not to understand what really went on.
What I do or do not understand doesn't matter. How do you think Mac is going to take this?
I think he's going to have to understand, won't he?
Well, I hope you're right. You must have had a reason for going down there. Did you decide who was going to be Matthew's legal father?
Yes, I have.
Are you going to let Mac adopt him?
I don't think that would be a good idea for Matthew.
Rachel.
Mom, I don't want to discuss it with you until I've discussed it with Mac.
Are you ready for what happens after you talk to Mac about this?
Yeah. I hope he'll understand, and if he doesn't, I'm going to have to stick by my decision.
Well, I hope you know what you're doing.
Mom, while I was down in St. Croix, I realized that the children and their welfare mean more to me than anything in the whole world.
Yeah. Well, I think you're making a big mistake.
I thought you'd be the one person who would understand that. I'm sorry you don't.
Hello?
Mr. Scott.
Yeah, Steele, what do you got?
Well, I followed your lady and that guy from the loft place I told you about.
Yeah? And?
Well, I stayed with them a while, but somehow I lost them.
This is not very good news, Steele.
Yeah, well, that's what I've got.
Tell me about the guy that Blaine left with.
Well, I don't know him, but he's pretty messed up.
What do you mean, messed up?
Oh, he's got one arm in a sling and a patch over one eye.
Charity Grove playing White Knight again. Listen up, Steele. I'm going to provide you with an assistant. I want you to call this number and tell the guy where you can meet him. And I don't want any mistakes this time, Steele. I want Blaine. You got that? I want Blaine back.
I don't think we were followed. At least not yet.
Jerry? Ugh. Not yet is right, but you know Jordan is not going to stop until he gets me.
Until he gets us. We're in this together, you know.
Jerry, I've been thinking a lot about this. I really think that you should get out. I think that you still have a chance.
No.
Jerry, it is me that he is after, not you.
You really think he's finished with me? Blaine. Last week I pulled a gun on him.
I think that if he gets me, he won't care about you. I don't want anything to happen to you.
And I won't let anything happen to you.
Jerry, I can take care of myself.
We're in this together, Blaine.
Jerry, I don't want...
Don't argue with me.
Okay. So what happens next?
I just don't know yet. But, we're going to have to keep moving. We're going to have to keep moving away from Jordan and his men.
Where are we going?
Look, I spent all that time down in Florida looking for a house for my mother. Time that I thought was lost after. But maybe not. Maybe we
You're
could...
awfully tired. Listen, I want you to lay down and get some sleep, okay?
Look, I am so tired, I won't have any problem sleeping right here.
No, now come on. What you need is to get a good sleep. Okay, we both need to get a good, solid sleep. Please just lie down.
All right.
Hey, come on. Don't forget. We shared a bed once before, you know. Come on. go take a shower now? When I come out, I want to find you asleep, all right? Jerry, thank you very much.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you.
Oh, no, I'm just a little tired.
Yeah, I bet you are. The nurse said that, you were on the night shift. That was,
Yeah.
I'm sure you'd be here.
Yeah, no.
Also, she told me that you were the one that was taking care of Jamie, and I wanted to talk to you about him before I went up to see him.
I'm afraid you wouldn't have found him upstairs.
Why? Something happened?
Oh, no. He's probably okay.
Probably?
What I'm saying is Jamie seemed to be fine.
Seemed to be fine, but...
Well, something bothered me about his condition, so I recommended that he stay in the hospital another couple of days, just for observation and tests. But
Well, what did you find out?
I'm afraid I didn't find out anything. Jamie decided to check himself out against my wishes. So.
Well, why did he do that?
Well, apparently he felt fine. Had a lot of work to do, too.
Well, do you think he's all right?
I think he's probably fine, Mrs. Corey. It would have made me feel a lot comfortable had he stayed here and let me run the tests. But then he said he would call if there was anything unusual in his condition.
I see. Well, at least that's something.
Hmm.
You wouldn't know where he went, would you?
No, I don't. But knowing what workaholic Jamie is, I imagine he's out of the complex.
Yes, I expect you're right.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Sure, anytime.
Oh, and, Rick.
Yeah.
Speaking of workaholics, I bet you should probably call it a day.
You might have a point there, yes.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You heard about the explosion at Croix Publishing?
Yes, I heard something about it on the way over. It sounded like everyone was okay.
Yeah, well, according to the latest reports, Mac and Jamie are still trapped inside. And it could be a gas explosion any minute.
Jerry, what's happening?
I got a pretty good idea. You wait here for me?
What do you mean?
Look, there's something that's got to be done, and I'm going to do it. And I want to know that you'll be waiting here for me when I get back.
Jerry, you can't go anywhere on your own. You can't even drive.
I can. The car's an automatic, no problems. And no, you can't go with me if that's what you were going to ask.
Jerry, at least tell me where you're going.
I can't do that.
Well, you can't?
Won't.
You owe me that.
Kit, I love you. Just know that.
Are you going to see Jordan Scott? You can't do that.
I don't think I have much choice.
Jerry! Jerry, what are you going to say to him? What are you going to do? Jerry, you can't be serious.
I'm just going over there to talk to him.
What sort of talk is that? What kind of talk have you got?
This time I'm not going to be a defenseless target ready to be run down in some parking garage. So you wait for me.
No, I can't let you go. Please.
Kit, wait for me.
Hey, kid, have you seen that brother of yours?
What'd you say?
Do you know where Rick is? Hey, what's the matter, kid?
Nothing.
Come on, kid, what's the matter?
I'm worried about Jerry.
Why?
I was supposed to see him last night. He never showed up. He never called.
Well, something important must have come up. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe he had to go out of town. Hey, he must have had a reason.
That's what I'm afraid of. The reason.
I'm not following you.
I'm worried that Jerry has gone off and done something to get himself into more trouble with Jordan Scott.
From what I've heard, that can be real dangerous.
Real dangerous. Jerry had this thing against him because of happened to his mother. It's like a vendetta, and now I'm afraid he's really put his life in jeopardy to protect Blaine.
You mean he's gone after Jordan Scott single-handedly?
I think so.
Mitch, what do you think you're doing?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't?
No, I don't.
I think you do. You've gotten yourself mixed up in Rachel's life again.
Ada, under the circumstances, that can hardly be avoided. After all, Matthew is my son.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Then why don't you tell me?
How do you think Mac is going to feel when he finds out that you and Rachel spent the weekend in St. Croix together again?
Rick? Hey, Rick.
Oh, Russ, I'm sorry. I've been fall asleep.
I assumed that perhaps you had moved in here.
What?
I did tell you to go home, didn't I?
I just intended to sit down and rest for a minute before I was going to leave.
Has it occurred to you, Doctor, that perhaps your body is trying to tell you something? That maybe it's tired, it needs rest?
You might have a point there, yeah.
Yeah, I might at that. Which reminds me...
Oh, well, listen, I was just leaving.
No, you were supposed to have done that 3 hours ago.
Yeah, and I meant to go...
The point is, Rick, meaning to do something and actually doing it are two very different things.
Russ, it's just that I meant to go a couple of times, and things just kept coming up that I had to deal with.
And these are all things that could only be done by Rick Holloway. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well, no, it's not.
Well, that's not good enough. Someone else could have done all of these things, and you know it.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I know you're right. I know you're right.
Well, one of these days, sorry isn't going to do the trick, Rick.
Well, Russ, one of the reasons that I didn't go out was that it's such a long trip back to the trailer. I felt too tired to make that.
I suppose that is a long haul after a night's work.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been the world's safest driver this morning.
Living so far out of town, that has to be pretty rough on you with your schedule.
No kidding. I've been meaning to get an apartment closer here, but I haven't even had time to do that.
Well, it's just possible that there is a simple solution to this whole problem.
Really?
Yeah, there's a small room available in the intern's quarters.
It's beginning to sound very interesting.
Well, why don't you move in there, at least until you have time to look for something of your own?
I was hoping you were going to say that when you mentioned the small room, yeah.
Well, consider it yours, on one condition.
What?
I expect that you're going to use it occasionally to get some sleep.
I will, and it'll be a pleasure.
We'll see that you do.
Corey Publishing.
Sandy, is that you?
Yeah, Joe, it's me.
Well, listen, I think I got a problem.
Yeah, what kind of problem?
It's a big problem.
Okay, I'm listening.
No, I don't want to talk about it over the phone.
All right, well, why don't you come on over here and I'll meet you outside.
No, can you get away from work?
Yeah, I guess I could. They owe me a lunch break. Listen, is this about what I think it is?
I don't want to talk about it now, Sandy. All right, meet me at the apartment in about 20 minutes, all right?
Yeah, I think I can make it in 20 minutes.
All right.
Hey, Joe.
What?
Are you okay?
Yeah, it's not me that I'm worried about. Later.
Blake, I want you out of my house.
Mac.
If you'll let me explain something.
I don't want to hear an explanation.
Look, if you
I just want you out of the house, please.
Mac, I don't know what you heard.
What I heard was quite clear, Ada.
If you will listen to me...
I will not listen. I want you to get out of my house now.
I have a right to be here to see my son.
That remains to be seen.
What remains to be seen?
Your rights in regard to Matthew. I'm putting it before the courts as soon as I can get it there.
Well, in the meantime, I have a right to see my son, and I intend to do just that.
Until the court clearly decides what your rights are, if you see Matthew, you will not do it in my house.
We'll see about that. Ada.
Will you tell me what's going on?
It's not the way it looks, Mac.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Where's Rachel? I'll talk to her.
You'll have to wait a little while to do that.
She gone off to parts unknown again?
She went to the hospital to see Jamie. She should be back soon.
Well, anyway, it's not too hard to guess what went on again down in St. Croix, is it?
I don't think anything went on.
Nothing?
Mitch went down there to tell Rachel about the accident at the complex.
Rachel told him where she was. He knew where she was all the time.
He didn't know. He just followed a hunch.
I wonder why that hunch didn't occur to me. I wonder why St. Croix didn't come to my mind.
What do you mean?
I mean, as a place for her to go away and to think. The place where I was almost killed. The place where Mitch first came into our lives. Now, why do you think that she would go to St. Croix?
Well, Mac, Rachel must have had a good reason for doing what she did.
Yes, I guess she did, but I wouldn't be too sure about what the reason was.
Mac, will you talk to her? Listen to what she has to say. Give her a chance.
You think I should give her another chance?
Yes, I do.
All right, I will. But I don't know why.
There you are.
Here I am. All 165 pounds of me.
I've been looking all over for you.
Well, that's where I've been, all over.
Listen, do you have a minute?
For you, I have a lifetime.
Rick, I'm trying to be serious.
Sorry, I'm just so giddy from staying up all night.
I think we should talk.
Well, you better make it quick, because if Russ comes down here and catches me, he may fire me for overattendance.
Look, you got to talk to your sister, Rick.
What about?
Well, she had a date with Jerry last night, and he never showed up.
So that's not so out of line? Maybe he didn't feel like going on a date, you know? I mean, he's just come out of major surgery. And, I mean, a date, you know, going out, it's a little premature for him, don't you think?
Maybe, but he could have called. I mean, it isn't like Jerry not to cancel.
That's true. It's true.
Kit is afraid that he's put his life in danger.
Wait a minute. When did she tell you this? Because...
Blaine got into some kind of trouble with Jordan Scott, and Jerry was determined to protect her from him.
What? Doesn't he realize what he's getting involved with there? I don't understand him.
Well, you see why Kit's so afraid, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Has anybody talked to Clarice? Is he over there?
Apparently he moved out of her house, bag and baggage.
Well, that's just great.
Well, what's the matter?
Jerry is a very sick man, or potentially a very sick man. The last thing he needs to do is put himself in strenuous and stressful environments. He needs time to recuperate, is what I'm saying.
Well, I know that, but we can't do anything about it since we can't find Jerry. And right now it's Kit I'm worried about.
You worried?
Yeah, she's really strung out, Rick.
I'll talk to her.
I think it's important, really. I mean, Jerry's come to mean so much to her.
Yeah, I know that. Just like you come to mean to me, huh?
We're working.
Well, I just signed out.
Well, I just signed in, and right now I think it's Kit who needs you.
Well, you're right. You shouldn't have distracted me, though.
Go find your sister.
All right. You know what I like about you?
What?
It's that you care.
Yeah. Well, I do care about Kit. She's been a real friend to me, and I don't like to see her so upset.
Well, listen, I will calm her down, so don't you worry.
Okay. Thanks.
Sure. Oh, listen, thank you for telling me about all this. And if you see your uncle, don't tell him I'm around.
Joey, it's about time you got here.
Hey, you said 20 minutes. All things considered, I think I made pretty good
time. Blaine is missing.
Wait a minute, what do you mean missing? Missing from where?
From the law. Jerry was supposed to stay with her last night because I had to work late.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I keep calling over there, and all I get is that stupid answering machine.
Yeah, well, Jerry told her not to answer. Maybe she's just not picking up.
She can monitor the calls. If she heard my voice, she'd pick up the phone.
Well, did you call Jerry at his office?
Yeah. Secretary said that she hasn't seen him all day.
What about Brian?
He's over at Ogden.
Great. So you can't get in touch with either Jay?
No, I can't get in touch with either of them, and it's driving me crazy.
Well, don't jump to any conclusions, okay?
That's a lot easier said than done.
Look, maybe Jerry felt like it wasn't safe there anymore. Maybe he moved her someplace else.
Yeah, or maybe Jordan's.
Hey, don't even say that.
It's something that's there. I gotta think about it. How can I help?
No, not yet, you don't. Now, look, why don't we just go over there?
What good is that gonna do? Then no one's there.
Well, you don't know that for sure. You know, let me think. Maybe they're just not answering the phone at all.
Why wouldn't they answer the phone if they could hear my voice?
Look, there could be a lot of reasons about that, okay? Now, look, I think maybe they could just be laying low, you know, trying to let Jordan cool off. The best thing for us to do is to go over there and check it out ourselves. Now, look, you shouldn't make trouble before you know.
Before what? Before I know that Jordan Scott has done something? I don't want to think about it, but I can't help it.
Oh, hi, Rach.
I had trouble finding this place.
Yes, it certainly is hard to locate.
I had no idea of the amount of damage that would be done.
Yeah, well, the printing and production facilities are totally destroyed, and several of the offices are in just about as bad a shape.
Must have been some explosion.
Yeah, it's difficult for everyone.
Well, I guess it'll take quite a while before Croix Publishers is back on its feet again.
Well, I don't know. You know, Mac seems determined to push forward, and we all know how much effort Jamie is willing to give, so I guess I wouldn't be surprised if we were back in production pretty soon.
Are both of them here?
Jamie was. I think Mac sent him home for the day.
Is he all right? Is he sick?
No. Mac didn't want him to overdo.
Oh, well, he tends to do that. Is Mac here?
No, but he is going to be back soon, I hope.
You wouldn't mind if I waited?
Oh, no, of course, I'd be glad for the company. It gets kind of creepy being alone here.
You know what you mean. You're used to more hustle and bustle, aren't you?
Goodness, yes. It's, most of the staff even in.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, you like some coffee? Miracle of miracles, the coffee pot survived the explosion.
No, I don't care for anything. Did Mac say where he was going?
Well, I think... Oh.
Any messages for me?
Hello, Mac.
Rachel? Any messages?
Yes. Mr. Johnson from Des Moines. He called, that's all.
I'll get back to him later.
Mac,
Let's go over to my desk, shall we? I'm sorry there's not more privacy, but it's the best I can do.
Well, I'm sorry that I wasn't here when the accident took place.
So am I, Rachel. Really could have used your help, but you had more important things to take care of.
No, not more important. My timing was bad, that was all.
Very bad.
Well, I came back as soon as I heard.
Yes, so I was told.
Mac, please.
No, Rachel, we're not just going to shake and make up. Not this time.
Look, I realize this is a more complicated situation.
Seems brutally simple to me. Complicated. That's a very interesting word for you to use on this situation.
How's Jamie?
Well, he has 2 wounds that they had to take stitches in, and his ankle was twisted, but this morning he seemed fine.
They said you sent him home?
Yes, he was tired. It was quite an ordeal he went through, you know.
Yes, I understand that. I've said I'm sorry I wasn't here. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, well, it's a moot point now anyway, isn't it?
I think we better talk, Mac.
Yes, I think so, too.
But I don't want to talk here.
Well, that's one thing we've got in common.
Will you come home?
Yes. Very shortly, as soon as I clear up some things here.
Blaine, it's Joey.
Maybe she can't hear you. Try again.
Hey, Blaine, it's Joey. Come on, here with Sandy. Open the door. Oh, where are they? We're
Just take it easy, man. Take it easy.
You think Jordan found them?
Come on, quit assuming the worst.
Oh.
No luck. I was hoping for a key.
Oh,
Well, man, you can't just push the door open.
Well, we got to do something. Look, just because they didn't answer the phone, and just because they're not coming to the door now, doesn't mean that they're not there.
Yeah, I know.
All right, well, what are we going to do?
Well, I guess the only way to find out is for us to get inside. Man, I wish I had some plastic or credit card or something.
Wait.
What do you got?
Here, my license.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
All right.
Okay, watch out. Come on. Anybody home? Joey, I'm gonna go in the bedroom, see if there's a sign of anything.
Well, Blaine, Jerry, this is Joey. Pick up the phone. I need to talk to you. If you guys are there, please pick up the phone. I need to talk to you. Jerry, Blaine. No clues, nothing on the recorder except my stupid voice?
Yeah, well, I only found one thing. The beds haven't been slept in.
Do you think that Jordan found them?
I mean, I don't think so. There's no sign of forced entry. Doesn't look like there was any scuffling.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Joey.
What?
If Jordan did kill Jerry and Blaine... What I'm trying to tell you is that there'd be a sign. We could tell.
What do you think, Jordan's gonna come here and leave a card saying that he was here?
Look, man, there'd be something upset here. We'd be able to tell.
He's a thorough person. He wouldn't be in a position that he is if...
Joey, look. Jordan is not personally out looking for Jerry and Blaine. You know, he's got somebody hired to do it. I mean, that's the way these people operate. Trust me. I spent a lot of time around him. I know what I'm talking about.
So in other words, these people that he would hire, if they would have left a sign, there would have been something here?
Yeah, well, it wouldn't look this innocent.
Hello?
Joey? Is that you?
You Rick? What is...
Yeah. Look, I'm over at the hospital. The kid's with me. She's real concerned. Is Jerry there? Joey? Is Jerry there?
No. Neither's Blaine.
Blaine, where'd you go?
I just went out for some food.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that.
Jerry, you're hungry. You need food. I'm hungry. We both need food.
Blaine, it's not safe.
You really think anybody's going to recognize me in this getup?
Oh, yeah, but if they did.
But they didn't, okay? Besides that, I was starving, and I knew you'd need something to eat once you woke up.
Yeah, I suppose I should try to eat something. What time is it?
It's dark outside, if that's what you want to know. Which is another reason I felt comfortable going out.
I didn't realize I'd slept that long.
Most of the day. You were really tired.
Yeah, I guess I was. What'd you get to eat?
Oh, some filet mignon, some asparagus tips with hollandaise sauce, baked potatoes with sour creams and chives. And just in case you're still hungry, hamburgers and french fries.
Oh, the old standards.
Uh-huh. Milkshake, too.
Do those shakes happen to be chocolate?
Jerry, there are some things I don't forget. Ever.
Sleazy burger's my favorite.
Yeah, looks good, huh?
What are you thinking about?
More like who?
Joey.
Jerry, do you think there's any chance of calling him?
I can think of a lot of better ideas.
But he's probably really worried by now.
And Kid isn't.
Look, maybe if we called one of them, then they could tell the other.
No, I think that ignorance is bliss in this situation. The less that Joey and Kit know about us, the safer they are.
You really think that Jordan... I guess you're right. He won't stop at anything to get me, right?
I'm afraid that's true. Which is why I didn't even call Kit and break her date for last night.
Jerry, she must be worried sick by now. I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault.
It is too my fault. A lot of things have been my fault lately.
Come on, don't get down on yourself.
What do you mean, don't get down on myself? I've put everybody I care about in danger.
Look, you didn't do it intentionally.
It doesn't matter if I did it intentionally or not. Look, you just about got yourself killed. Now we're running off to heaven knows where, and you can't even call your girlfriend to tell her where you are.
Look, Kit will understand when all this is over.
Think it ever will be, Jerry? Over, I mean.
It has to be.
You're right. It has to be. One way or another.
Oh, isn't that fun? Nuts, baby. Come on, push again. Push again with those strong legs of yours. Yes. Push. Would you like a drink?
I don't think this situation calls for a drink.
I just thought it might relax you.
I don't feel like being relaxed.
Mac, please don't make this any harder than it already is.
If it's hard for you, Rachel, it's of your own making.
Well, your attitude isn't helping any.
My attitude is a result of your actions. You going to explain what happened?
Mac, I told you I had to get away to think about this whole situation with Matthew.
Yes, you told me that, and I agreed that you should have the time. What does that have to do with you spending a weekend again in St. Croix with Mitch Blake?
Where should I begin?
Anywhere you want to. There are plenty of questions that don't have answers.
All right, I'll answer all your questions. But I need some help.
Well, first off, why would you go to St. Croix? Isn't that a rather odd choice, considering all the terrible things that happened to us there?
I don't know why I went there. It wasn't really a conscious decision.
Not conscious? Can you explain that?
I didn't know where I should go. I didn't want to go to another city. I wanted to get the children into the sun. I got to the airport, and I didn't know where to go, and St. Croix just occurred to me.
So what was Mitch Blake doing there with you?
He went all the way down to St. Croix to tell me about you and Jamie and the accident. He thought I'd want to know.
How very sweet of him.
That's the truth, Mac. And as soon as he told me, we took the next plane out of there.
2 days later, is
Yes,
that so?
2 days later.
I don't know what you want with Mitch Blake, but I know what Mitch Blake wants with
I
you.
have
and
told you
No,
again
let
and
me
again that
finish.
I have
I do
nothing
not want that man anywhere near you ever again. Is that clear?
Perfectly clear. But I'm afraid that's not possible.
Why not?
I went down to St. Croix to decide who was going to be that baby's legal father, and I've made my decision. Mitch Blake will remain that baby's legal father.
I think I should make sure you know all the implications of your decision.
Which are?
If you won't stand with me on this, if you won't agree that I can adopt Matthew, if you won't agree that you will not see Mitch Blake again, then we simply don't have a marriage anymore.
Oh, Mac,
and there are
you
many
can't
more
say that.
implications than just our personal relationships. You know very well that I'm going to fight for, and considering your relationship with Blake, I'm going to win custody of Amanda. You also know that Jamie will most likely feel obliged to resign his job at Croix Publishing. So you're jeopardizing his future.
Would you stop
No,
this,
I will
please?
not stop it. You're going to understand what your decision to keep seeing Blake is going to mean to all our lives. It's not just you, you know, that it affects. It's not just you and me. It's everybody we love. It's Jamie, and it's Amanda, and it's Matthew. And you're going to ruin all of our lives.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Another World.